We have Chloe Bailey shades Beyonce for trying to steal her soul. Halle was also initiated. And it's crazy. Like when I hear a title like this, I think about everything surrounding it, all the context. First off, we have Chloe Bailey that has signed to Rock Nation. Beyonce was her mentor for some time. And then we also have Halle, who has played in multiple Disney movies. And the situation with Halle, we know that Halle recently had a child with DDG. And unfortunately, for whatever case it was, DDG is not able to see the son, which is very sad and unfortunate. But then that also makes me think back to like Kanye West tweets when he thinks about his own daughter. He's not even able to see his own daughter. And he says that's because Hulu and Disney have taken control of Northwest. They want to use her. Now, is that the same instance that's going on with Haley or Holly, however you say her name? Is that the same instance that's going on just because they're so closely associated with Rock Nation and Disney, the whole nine? It's crazy how this industry works. But let's get straight into this video and let's see how Chloe Bailey is shading Beyonce.
Y'all, so Chloe Bailey just sent out a loud, clear warning and it's aimed straight at Beyonce. Chloe is finally speaking out about what really went down behind the scenes, and from the way she's talking, this wasn't just a fallout, it was a full-blown spiritual betrayal. She made bold claims accusing Beyonce of trying to steal her essence, her light, her soul. And the wildest part, she's hinting that her own sister Halle has already given in. The streets are now dissecting every word, every symbol, every move, and what they're finding out is disturbing. Did Beyonce really initiate Halle into something Chloe refused to be a part of? And was Chloe blackballed for saying no? And is this why their once perfect image as proteges is now crumbling right in front of us? Because the things Chloe is hinting at make the story way darker than we thought. Let's get into it. Now, if we're gonna be honest here, this conversation is long overdue because fans have been side-eyeing Chloe Bailey's career trajectory for a minute now, and the question keeps getting louder. Why isn't she popping the way she should be? Chloe has everything. The vocals are there, the visuals are always on point, and she's got the dance skills and the acting chops, the confidence, the look, and the kind of stage presence that's supposed to be screaming superstar. She even has Beyonce backing her, something most artists would.
Once I seen this one performance of Chloe Bailey, and she looked like she was damn near deep throwing the microphone, like licking it. Like once I seen that, I'm like, yeah, she's definitely hanging around some demons or some witches, whichever way you want to call it.
Kill for. So what's the problem then? Why is she still struggling to sell records and move tickets when other pop girlies, some of whom barely have a third of her talent, are charting effortlessly and headlining sold out venues? And no, it's not just a case of the industry being hard because Chloe was set up with a full machine behind her. But despite all the push, the results just aren't matching the hype. At some point, fans start to wonder if there's something deeper going on, some kind of tension, mismanagement, or even sabotage. Because for someone with Chloe's blueprint, this level of flop isn't just random. Well, if you ask Chloe, the reason her career hasn't taken off the way it should be comes down to one name, Beyonce. And according to her, it's not just about music, politics, or mishandling. She's hinting at something way darker. Chloe recently went live and spilled just enough to get people talking, and the implications were wild. She talked about how Hollywood is a dark place and basically said it's almost impossible to truly make any unless you're willing to sell your soul. She didn't name names directly, but the way she positioned herself in contrast to what others are doing, let's just say the shade was loud and clear. She said she sees herself in the character Sammy from the movie Sinners, a character who's constantly torn between talent, faith, and the pressure to conform. Well, Chloe said that the storyline hit too close to home, and fans immediately clocked that it was a subtle dig at Beyonce and the industry machine behind her. But take a listen to what she said because the subtext is screaming.
Okay, so I think anyone who it just reminds you so much of the industry, right? And it's like you could have a gift like he did with his guitar, and like they said, when he's singing, he's honoring his ancestors and uplifting and all of that, but then it also attracts the not good. So it's like, in order for him to be successful, the vampires were telling him he has to sell out so that he could be so he could live forever and his music could live forever. And it's exactly like things that I see and go through every day. And that's why I just like really resonate with it.
Now, Chloe never actually said Beyonce's name, but everybody knew exactly who she was pointing at. She didn't have to spell it out because whenever people start talking about the industry being dark or twisted, there's always one name that comes up first, and that's Beyonce. For years, there have been whispers about Beyonce and Jay-Z about how they allegedly made certain sacrifices to get to the top. You can call it a conspiracy or call it a fact, but their names are always front and center. When people bring up the Illuminati or the entertainment elite doing questionable things behind the scenes, it's Beyonce on the front of their lips. So when Chloe went live talking about refusing to sell her soul and that didn't need to drop names, people connected the dots in seconds. And honestly, Chloe's claims finally explain what people have been saying when it comes to her career and how Beyonce seems to be mismanaging her. Now, when Chloe and Halle signed to Parkwood, everybody thought it was a great move. But now folks are starting to question if that decision actually helped or held them back, because while Beyonce is undeniably a legend, she's also juggling a billion things at once. World tours, sacred, motherhood, and keeping her own empire in motion, so it's not wild to think that her artists might be slipping through the cracks, and Chloe is starting to look like the latest example of all of that. Her debut album just didn't hit like people expected, and her second album performed even worse because it didn't even chart on any Billboard list. And considering how much pull Chloe has on social media, the math wasn't mad then. But honestly, it's starting to feel like Chloe might just be stuck in the same cycle we've already seen with other Parkwood artists.
It's like you barely even... I didn't even really know she makes music like that. Like, I've seen her performing, but I've never seen or heard one of her songs. It's almost better to be independent nowadays. Like, you can do it independently. Like, if you just have a good song, like an Instagram video of you just naturally singing could get views, and then that could get you streams. And rather than having to deal with all these different demons and bad energy, feeling as if you need to sell your soul, like, it's just, none of it is worth it.
Apart from Chloe and Halle, who've mainly kept to themselves afloat through their own hustle, Beyonce's track record when it comes to managing talent hasn't exactly been impressive. Now that Chloe seems to be flopping, fans are starting to question if she's quietly being sidelined like other Parkwood artists like Sophie Bean, Ingrid Burley. In Sophie's case, she got signed with a lot of hype, but instead of letting her drop her music, Parkwood told her she wasn't ready, and they kept her locked in a 2-year development deal. And when that was up, they dropped her, and with nothing to show for it. But then there's Ingrid, who actually recorded an album,
but her in a 2-year development. She literally signed a contract, and they just stole her entire gift from her. They didn't allow her to release anything for 2 years and dropped her after. That's crazy.
For some reason, Parkwood refused to release it until her contract was up, and it got shelved. So now people are side-eyeing the situation with Chloe, wondering
the polls. I know what y'all picked about the polls, but when the queen speaks, and that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all that matters to me.
So at this point, fans are convinced Beyonce's been playing in Chloe's face for a long time, all because Chloe refused to play the game and sell her soul. And that's what word got around, and now people are starting to act and
if you're an influencer and your audience lets you know exactly what they want, that's your job as an influencer. Just give them what they want. I don't know why she thinks Beyonce is some sort of god. Like, I get it. Like, she's gone far into the industry, but how did she get so far? Doing some crazy things.
Connect the dots in a way that raises even more eyebrows, because suddenly Halle's name is coming up in a conversation too, but not in a good way. A lot of fans believe Halle might have gone the opposite route and actually did what Chloe wouldn't. According to online talk, Halle was allegedly willing to play ball, and that right there is what people say caused the quiet split of Chloe and Halle. Not some casual solo career decision, but a deeper divide based on what each sister was willing to do to move forward in the industry. And here's where things get even more suspicious. suspicious. Since they went solo, Halle's career has skyrocketed. Big movies, major red carpets, an acting breakthrough with Little Mermaid, and even a solo Grammy nomination. She's constantly booked and busy. The last we checked, she's off filming in Italy right now, living the good life with her son. But Chloe, on the other hand, a different story. Despite all her talent, the rollout has been bumpy. The album didn't hit, the singles underperformed, and people are starting to notice the pattern. She's putting in the work, but the industry just isn't giving back. Yeah, y'all, it's a hot mess, and it's a wonder how Chloe has managed to stay silent for so long. At this point, it starts to feel less like a bad look and more like a pattern. Chloe's got the talent, the look, the drive, but somehow things just aren't clicking. And now that she's low-key speaking out, it's pretty clear that she knows exactly why. Meanwhile, Halle's career is a little bit on fire. She's booked, praised, and protected, and fans are starting to wonder if it's because she made choices Chloe refused to make. Maybe that's why their bond doesn't hit the same anymore. Maybe that's why Chloe always looks like she's fighting to be seen while Halle's being handed the spotlight. But whatever went down behind the scenes, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Chloe's not playing that game. And in this industry, that alone can cost you everything. This drama is nowhere close to being over because Chloe is determined to take back her power and control the narrative.
Yeah, like, who you associate with is one of the most important things that you need to be very aware of, especially in this life. Like, you just need to be aware of it because their mindset, their belief system, their actions, all of it is going to influence you. That's just the way it is. That's just human nature. So when she's around someone, Beyonce is very influential, not taking that away from her. But best believe she's going to be heavily influenced by Beyonce. She feels as if that's her God, when it realistically isn't. You feel what I'm saying? But comment down below your thoughts in the comment section. Smash the like button. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video.